Tim here on a cool breezy day in the Arizona desert. I've been out here about 7 days now and I'm getting ready to pack up, and I thought I'd give you a little tour of my camp kitchen. Some of the things that I use, what I like, and what seems to be working. So first off, what I found really important is keeping the dirt and the dust down. And what really works well for me is this floor covering on the ground. Now, this floor covering that I have is actually 10 by 10, 10 feet by 10 feet. I've got it folded in half, since if I had it fully extended, it would go out a little further, but I really didn't need that. So I folded it in half. The floor covering, or what I really like about this floor covering, is that it doesn't allow dirt to come up. When you're walking around, dirt and dust, it traps it underneath. There is, things on here, that my shoes carry in or the wind blows in, but any dirt that comes on here or sand, it passes through, but it doesn't come back up. This is from a company called Sea Gear. Let me show you their Sea Gear. And it comes in different sizes and different colors, and each floor covering or mat has two different sides, two different colors also, so you can reverse it if you want to use a different color. I like this instead of that more neon color on the reverse side. But I really recommend something like this. It does have stakes, or has loops, heavy duty loops that you can stake down so it doesn't blow off, on a really windy day. Some people even use these also as kind of like a tarp. They'll wrap it around maybe their canopy, and it allows air to flow through, but it provides shade. So that's something that I really recommend, is a good floor covering. It just keeps dirt from blowing up and from you carrying it inside. The next thing in my camp kitchen that I'll show you is my refrigerator. This is the Lion cooler from Acco Power, and it is a 44 quart. They do have larger and smaller sizes as well, and this works well for me. It has inside a light for at night, but it carries pretty much everything that I need to refrigerate. One thing that I would like to find is some sort of rack or something that I can put in here to stack things, and then I can easily access things as well, food that are in this rack type setup. Now, this cooler does the job great. You can freeze things in here if you need. I've got it set at, let's see, 36 degrees, although it's showing right now 39. It's usually keeps it a little bit warmer than what you set it at, so I'm going to go down to 35. And this fridge has its own lithium-ion battery. It also can be run or powered by your battery in your vehicle, or you can hook up solar to it to run it that way. The battery that it has, it uses that if it's not using anything else. Right now it's running off of my house battery, I guess you'd call it, or my battery that is being charged by the solar panel on the roof. If that's not working, or not charging it or running it, powering it, then this little lithium battery can charge or keep the fridge going for about 10 hours. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I haven't had any issues. It's fairly quiet. It has an LG compressor, I believe it uses. So works great. Has a handle and a wheel if you wanted to take it out and you put it outside of your rig. I keep it inside here on this little stand, and it doesn't go anywhere. So refrigerator works great. I keep my food, most of my food, in cabinets, and my dishes and everything. This is pretty much from about right here over is my kitchen area. Everything I need for eating and food and everything like that is in here when I'm traveling. When I get set up somewhere, or I decide to camp somewhere for a while, then I set up outside. I like to do all my cooking and most of my living outside of the vehicle. So then I have this table that I fold down from the side of the vehicle. When it's folded up, it's flush against the side of the body here. But it makes for a great, and you can see I'm getting a pretty good wind gust right now. It's been pretty windy the last few days here, and this is a good sized table. This is aluminum. It came with the vehicle, so I don't know who made it, but it folds, like I said, flush, and it provides lots of room for cooking and other activities. And so when I'm set up at camp, I just leave it down and I leave stuff out here. I've never had any problem with anything, you know, coming off of it, or any rodents or anything being able to get up here. Next is my Camp Chef Mountaineer. It's an aluminum stove, 2-burner stove. Great for cleanup because it is aluminum. It's also lightweight, so it makes it easy to transport around. The windshields, of course, fold in, and the cover comes down. You can see how the propane is hooked up to it in the front here, and then I've just got a small tank there for the stove. It has legs that come on, that bolt or screw on to each corner, which is nice. So I can either use it freestanding like it is now, or I can set the stove up on the table or on any table that I want to use. The legs also are adjustable. On the bottom you can screw out the little post or little bottom pieces just to, you know, to level it out. I have a Camp Chef garbage can, which is really handy also. When I'm not using it, it folds up flat. When you're using it, you can put a large garbage bag in there and wrap it around. At night, the bag and everything just goes inside, and then you zip the cover on it to keep any animals or anything from trying to get inside of it. I've got it, as you can see, bungeed right now to keep it from blowing away, but this is really handy. Before I used to just tie, you know, my garbage bag onto the bumper or somewhere, but this makes it easier when I'm cooking. I can just throw things in there. Next up is my kitchen sink. This is the Julka hot tap, hot water on demand. This little device right here is a hot water heater, and you've got settings as far as the water pressure and the temperature, and it gives you all that information down here on this little screen. It has a base that it sits in, as you see, and that allows you to hook up on the back of it, on the bottom, your gas and your water. I've got it hooked up to this gas tank right here, this propane tank, and then the water there's a water pump, as you can see right here. Pumps water from I've got a 5-gallon jerry can there into the water heater, and then that's the blue hoses. And then the red hose coming out of the water heater goes up to the faucet. Now they have different options when you buy this. I bought the Nomad option, where all of this and your hoses and pump, everything fits inside this tub right here, the sink. And it's pretty snug fit once you put everything in there. It also comes with another faucet, or a shower head, basically. It's similar to this, but it has a shower head, and that allows you to use this also to take showers. I bought their tent. They call it an in-suite, but it's basically an enclosed shower tent, and the shower head it basically comes off of the hot water heater. There's just a Y, and so you can have this all set up. Then you can have your tent, which I don't have it set up now, but you can have your shower tent set up and a hose going into it, so that you can use either one. All of that fits inside here, but I found that it's kind of difficult to put it in there. You know, when you're out camping and you want to pack everything up, it's almost like a puzzle trying to fit it all in correctly so that the lids close up on here. And these two side pieces are the lids. They come off and then they fit on top of the sink or the tub to seal it all off. So because it's kind of a tight fit, and you know, you have to kind of put it in almost like a puzzle, like I said, I bought their bag here that they sell, and so this allows me to put, you know, the water heater part in here in the bag. And then I also bought an extra long hose that they sell, so that I can, if I'm near a river or a lake, I can run the hose from the pump down to the river or lake, and use that water instead of having to use my own water. So I would suggest, if you buy the Nomad, or if you buy their kit, they have this bag as an option. It's great to carry, you know, so you're not trying to pack it all into one thing. It gives you a little more room to pack things. So I really like that bag. Let me see, anything else about this kit? You do see that it has, this is the end of the water hose that goes into your water container. It has a filter on it, so you don't suck, you know, things, larger objects, particles through it. And just sits inside the container. And your water pump has a power hose that I just plug right into my lithium battery, the DC port on the battery there, and that powers it all, the pump. One nice thing about this whole setup, the sink and everything, is it does not run the hot water heater or the pump until you push this button right here on the nozzle. And I don't have it all plugged in, so I can't show you, but so basically you don't have to keep this running. You know, I'll put water in here, wash the dishes, then I'll turn this on to rinse, and you get a pretty good water pressure depending on how you have it set. I actually have it set on the lowest just to conserve water, and even on the lowest it's pretty good, you know, enough water to rinse things off with. This is sitting on just a little outdoor fold-up table, GCI outdoor aluminum table. It works well, strong enough to hold the sink and any water that's in there. The lids, like I said, are great for, you know, when you rinse things, you just put pots and pans and dishes on here. Dishes stand up, and the water runs off when it's drying and back into the sink here. The sink does have a plug on it, for draining it. Although I usually just, you know, when I'm packing up, I just go dump it, you know, by a bush or something. So that is pretty much it. If I am cooking at night, I do use these lights from Empowered. They make those Lucy lights, the inflatable solar lights. This is a solar light string, basically. You put this out, of course, to charge it, and then it opens up, and there's about 10 feet, I think, of lights, and I'll just string them up around the awning, and it has different adjustments, but it is definitely bright enough to use for cooking or just sitting out here at night. I can also, of course, use the 2 lights up there on the ambulance, although I haven't had to use them. This is enough to brighten up the whole area. So that is my setup. I usually have about, I'm just thinking now, water, 8 gallons of water out here, and inside I have about, I think about 10 gallons also. Down there in the corner by the fridge, there's a 5-gallon that I just pump water out by hand, and then across from it, underneath these clothes, is another 5-gallon water container, which I haven't had to use at all. It's kind of my backup or reserve. So this is what my camp setup looks like. And I don't always set it up as, you know, extensive or put everything out. It depends on how long I'm camping. Since I was here a week, I had it all set up, and it has worked great. I enjoy just cooking out here in the morning, making coffee. I started using a percolator. This is my first percolator pot that I use to make coffee, and it works well as well. So I enjoy sitting out here, making breakfast, making lunch and dinner out here, and just enjoying the view.